Okay, where was I? Okay, alright. Where's my little kitty? There's my little bebop kitty. I was trying to put him in here. Where are you at, buddy? Let's see if I can put Mr. Bebop in here. Hello, everybody. I know I'm being a goofball. This is my little solar activated kitty cat. I thought I'd put him in here. He's my little buddy. He came from Carolina Beach. Okay, so where was I? All right. We'll put him right here by my coffee cup. Sorry about the interruption there with the phone. So anyway, as I was saying about your cat as far as tagging goes, and chipping. It's good backup, but most times I have found as a pet sitter, yes, I had my own business as a pet sitter in the past, and made some observances that way with my customers. Most people will not take the time to go and have your animal scanned for the chip. So as a backup, it's good to have go back to the old-fashioned thing of having a collar with a tag, phone number. Doesn't necessarily have to have your address on it, your name and all that. Just make sure it has a phone number on there. Most of the time people will be more quick and prone to call than to go out of their way to force your animal in a car and run them to a vet somewhere and have it scanned. The people that do that, great Samaritans, love you for it. Thank you for doing that. But 9 times out of 10, most people are not going to bother themselves with it. So I do recommend that. No string toys. Now, cats love toys, but don't get too many. Homemade toys is the least expensive and some of the best ones, like an old Coke carton, an old box. Tape it up, put a round hole in it, it makes a great cave. It makes a good safe hiding place for your cat. When I was talking about safety places to run and hide, a box taped up with holes in it is a great thing. Cats love it. Cat tree. Cats love to be high up. They're climbers. Find a good, safe cat tree. I recommend putting it by a window. Cats love to look outside. Again, if you have an indoor cat, you want to bring the outdoors indoors. So this is where you can use your creative skills and put your cat tree by a window. You can put a bird feeder right outside that window so your cat can watch the birds. Put it in a very scenic window where there's a lot for the cat to look at. So choosing a window, make sure you choose one that has a lot to keep the cat preoccupied, and a bird feeder on the outside of it wouldn't be a bad option either. So add that in there too. And sometimes people put little shelves, stepping shelves up against their walls. They build them up like a stairway and back down. That's a good safety zone for a cat when they get frightened and they want their own space. And yes, cats love their own space. They're loners. They're not pack animals. They're loners and very independent. So they don't like to be touched all the time. Most of the time when a cat wants to be touched, they'll come to you and let you know. They'll have their paws all curled up and their tail curled up, and you're like, oh, this is a good time to pet my cat. Actually, your cat is saying, leave me alone. This is my time, my space. Don't touch me. Yeah, they look like they want to be pet and loved. No, they want to be left alone. Most of the time I let my cats come to me, and they will let me know when they want to be played with, petted, and so forth. So yeah, some of those steps on the wall is great. A cat tree is great. Just put your cat wants to climb, it wants to be high up, and that's the purpose of a cat tree as well. So adding that to your home is a great idea for a new cat owner or a newcomer, kittens, whatever. Please do that for them. Now, I was talking about string toys. Like I said, I was back on toys. Toys, be very, very precautious with that. I bought one of these toys for my adult cat, Kit Kat's baby, Petey, my little tabby, that you see pictures of. And I went to Dollar Tree and I got one on a stick, long stick, and it had a string, and it had a cute little toy on the end. Well, guess what? Thank God that an angel was looking over my little Petey, because I was sitting on the steps of my motorhome, my back towards her, and she was playing with this toy, and I heard this big thump hit the floor. And I turned around, and Petey had wrapped that string around her neck so tight, it choked the life out of her. Scared the dickens out of me. I hate to talk about it because it's very sad to pick up a limp, dead body. I immediately got the scissors and cut it off, and then I had to blow air into her nose, and Lord and behold, she's still here. So I do not recommend those kind of toys unless you supervise them with it, and when you're done playing with it, put it away. They're fun toys, but put it away. Now on Chewy.com, I get my cat toys that have this wire. They use wire instead of string. That makes it difficult for the cat to wrap it around their neck. So be very careful. I'll be doing a video on cat toys in another section. So be very careful when it comes to cat toys, please. The cats love birds, so I recommend anything with feathers on it. Catnip is a great thing, but I'll tell you a quick thing about catnip. It is genetic. It's genetic in a cat. One of my cats love it, the other one hates it. Yes, I did not know this. I thought all cats love catnip. They do not. Now, being that we're on catnip, catnip is an herb. It's a grass. But there's oil in this grass that gives the euphoric feeling of a cat. It makes them go crazy. But it only lasts about 10-15 minutes, and the effect is gone. That's right, the effect is gone. So when you get a catnip, make sure you get a good one, not something that has stems in it, that's expired. A lot of stores will put it out there and they got a lot of stems in it and stuff. You want one that has the buds and the leaves in it that says pure organic. The high-grade catnip is the best. And when you give it to your cat, all you got to do is put a small portion in your hand, and then you roll it like this, and that gets the oil out of the catnip grass. And it immediately gets to the cat a lot faster that way, and has a faster effect on the cat, and then the cat will play. Is it okay for the cat to eat it? Absolutely. It's healthy, so it's not going to hurt your cat if they eat it. Sprinkle it around their cat scratcher, etc. When you're done with it, put it in a sandwich bag and put it in the freezer. That's right, put it in a freezer, and it will last a whole lot longer. So it's good to freeze your catnip, especially if you're going to spend good money on good catnip and you want it to go a long ways. Do it right. Put it in the freezer and give it a long lifespan. It's recommended to only do it 2 to 3 times a week. Like I said, it only lasts 10 to 15 minutes. If you do it every day, the cat, yes, will get immune to it. They will get bored with it, just like their toys. I see it every day. I do it every day. I want a new challenge. I'm done with it. Bring on something new. That's how cats are. So use it on a sparingly basis, because when you do, they'll enjoy it a whole lot more and they won't get bored with it. I'm having a problem with my cats now because everything I do, they get bored very quickly, and then I'm doing this, and then I'm trying to, it's like, what can I do to make them happy and entertained? Most of the time, cats, as you know, they sleep 80% of the day and groom 80% of the time, and 10% they're out roaming, which is at night. So yes, that is the nature of the cat. They're nocturnal animals, and they roam at night, sleep all day, and groom and sleep 80% of their time. Make sure that when you move a cat into your house that you have a cat scratcher. Well, why have a cat scratcher? What's the purpose of that? Well, the cat scratcher is cats like to stretch. No, it's not to trim their nails. Got nothing to do with that. They like to stretch, just like us humans do. They sleep, they get cramped up, they want to stretch out. And that's the first thing they want to go to when they wake up, is to stretch. They also have glands in between their fingers, and it puts a scent out, and it leaves a territorial mark, and that's another reason. So yes, have a good cat scratcher in your house. That helps. If you can't afford one, you can make one. You just get a cheap piece of carpet, you turn it, you don't put the carpet side of the rug around the wooden spool, however you make it. You can wrap it over anything, but just make sure the cat can get a good scratch out of it. Buy a cheap piece of carpet, staple it around to a 2x4 or a little round post about yay long, and put the underside of the carpet facing the outside. Why? Because your cat can get their toenails in it a lot better and get a better grip than they can with the smooth carpet surface. Yes, I learned that in here too, and it's great and it works fabulous. So if you don't want to buy all this expensive stuff in the pet stores, you can make your own, which I'll go into that in a lot of other videos too, how to save money and keep your cat at the same time without going broke. So we were talking about toys, and yes, Petey's little bad experience, which I don't like to go back on, but it was a good lesson learned. Again, cats like dark caves, so make sure they have their little cave and safety spot. Their little foot pads. Okay, a cat's pad and feet are just like humans, except it has hair on it, so it's hard to imagine it's the same as ours. This is their pad, and they have their 5 toes like we have 5 fingers. Okay, this pad, the pad of a cat's foot is not sensitive to hot and cold. It is sensitive to vibration. Why? Because cats are hunters. The vibration helps the cat feel their prey and their distance from where they are from each other. When it comes to their pads, they can dry out and get scaly sometimes. There's lotion you can put on there if they allow it, but remember, everything that goes on your cat's pads, their paws and feet, will go right into their mouth. So be careful of cleansers you use on your floors, cleansers you put on your carpets, like carpet fresh and stuff. Your cat licks its paws almost all day long, 80% of the time. So anything that goes in their hands goes in their mouth, and sometimes it can make them real sick. So use caution there. It's just like when you have your kids wash their hands before they're eating, because you don't know what's on there. Same precaution with the cat. Think about their hands and what they get on their hands. Yes, Petey, where are you? She's meowing at me right now. I don't see you. I know you don't like me talking. So anyway, be careful of that. And just a quick thing too on their toenails. Cats need their claws trimmed. Reason being is, I had a friend of mine, she let her cat's claws get so long, one of them, hello sweetheart, one of the claws grew into the toe pad of her foot and got infected. That is very painful. How did they find it? The cat was holding her paw up all the time and she was limping. Sure sign of knowing that something's wrong with your cat is to watch their body language. And that's one way you can tell something's wrong. And I want to emphasize this, is very important that I did not know. Cats do not show pain. That's right. Cats do not show pain. You have to look at their body language. One of the body languages is laying around all the time, not eating, not drinking. They could be in pain, something's wrong, take them to the vet. I know vets are costly, folks. I dread it too. I cross my fingers every day and hold my breath. Lord, please don't let anything happen to my cat today, because I know it's going to cost a fortune. It's the downside of owning a pet. But if you love your pet, you'll do what you got to do. So watch your body language, because cats do not show pain. They show fear by hissing, holding their tail up, dilated eyes, and so forth. Yeah, they'll show fear, but they don't show pain. So watch your cat's body language when it comes to that. Hairballs, oh my God, that's another thing for you new cat owners. Get some hairball treatment. You can get the liquid in a tube. My cats love the greenies. Any treats that have hairball treatment in it, they're more prone. My cats seem to like the treats with the hairball treatment in it. They make cat food with hairball treatment in it. Hairball is a cat's nightmare. Can you imagine coughing that thing up? I watch my cats and it makes me hurt just to watch them try to gag it up, and then they try to swallow it. It's gross and it's awful. So if you do a daily cat hairball treatment, you're doing your cat a huge favor. Also, I was talking about hairballs and it made me think of something else. It just went right over my head. It'll come back to me hopefully. So never tie your cat up outside on a leash and leave it alone, because Kit Kat almost broke a leg one time and I caught her hanging from a limb, and I only took my eyes off of her for a second. So do not tie your cats up and leave them alone. The only time I recommend a leash or a tie is when you're out there with them and you don't have to get up to run in the house back and forth to do this, to do that. You have to donate all your time to that one moment. Not phone, not computer, nothing. because the minute you turn your back, your cat is hanging from something, or something awful can happen. So please don't do that. Let's see here. Flea and tick treatment. Oh my God. Back to Petey again and her guardian angel. I had my little last go around with buying over the shelf the liquid vials, put it between the shoulder blades, yada yada. Well, that didn't go too well with Petey. She had a toxic reaction to it, and it almost killed her. I heard her in the bathroom. She was upchucking, and it was awful. It was like her whole inside body was trying to come outside of her. It was gross. I had to go to an emergency night vet. It cost $400. She's worth it. They had to give her IV antibiotics for dehydration. Then I had to bring her home and wash her with Dove liquid soap to get it out of her skin. And the vet told me this: I do not recommend any of my clients, and I tell them, don't buy that over-the-shelf stuff. It is not always measured out to the exact level and amount of ingredients that should be in there. Sometimes there's more of this ingredient than the other ingredient because it's manufactured, and it can be dangerous. Some of it's expired, even though it says it's not expired. Take huge caution with this stuff, people. And for me, I don't like putting chemicals in my cat's skin like that. And another reason is, too, those chemicals burn their skin and causes a crusty sore, and it really hurts them. So I get these Seresto, S-E-R-E-S-T-O collars. I get mine at Amazon.com for $52. They last a year. I am in love with this collar. Fabulous for cats. They even have little night reflectors on them for the outdoor cats. They work. Not one flea, not one tick. And my cats are indoor, outdoor. And I live in the woods. I'm an RVer, as you can see. Not one. It's worth the money. Say, well, $52, $57, that's a lot of money. Well, so are those little 30-day packets. You add that up times 12 months, and what do you get? So I highly recommend that stuff. So for new cat lovers, I would recommend getting that as well. They make them for kittens and adult cats. Now, what about my cat's ears? Okay, what about cats hear 65,000 megahertz per second? That is phenomenal. That's more than a dog, a human being, and what their hearing is so attuned. It is unbelievable. And again, that goes with them being hunters. Little lionesses out there, like in Africa. The design is the same. They're just smaller lions. But cats hear like you would not believe. So if you sneeze, it's like a bomb going off in their ears. So again, going back to noise, cats hate loud noises. So if you sneeze, try to cover your mouth, or you're going to give your cat a heart attack. Keep the ears clean. If you see anything that looks black, like mud in there, ear mites. That is ear mites. And they are tiny little bugs that drive your cat's nuts. Can you imagine having that crawling in your ear daily 24/7? Not fun. Go get you, it's okay to get some over-the-counter ear mite cleanser, but if you have a vet, sometimes they'll give it to you without seeing your cat. I'll have a video. There's videos that you can YouTube how to clean a cat's ear, and it'll show you how to do it. Anytime I trim my cat's nails or put stuff in their ears, cats, when they run away from you, well, first of all, don't ever approach a cat from the front. They don't like that. It's intimidating. It's frightening. I get on my knees on the floor, and I spread my knees apart, and I take my cat, and I pull her rear end up against my body, and her head is facing outward, and I kind of squeeze her in a little bit with my legs, and I will grab each little toe on her foot when I'm trimming her nails, and I will slightly pinch the toe, and the nail will kind of pop out, and I make sure I can see very well. If you wear glasses, wear your glasses. If you wear reading glasses, wear your reading glasses. You want to see where you're cutting, and you don't want to cut the quick. If you do cut the quick, there is this stuff at the pet stores that's called septic, I think, or whatever. It's a little powder that you can put on the tip of their nail, and it will stop the bleeding right away. There's a lot of veins in their toenails, and it will bleed, and it's painful. So you do want to stop that bleeding right away. So you can get that before you trim the nails if you think you're not very good at it. You might cut the quick, but let's hope you don't cut the quick. Squeeze a little nail out, take the clipper, snip, snip, snip. Then you want to give your cat a treat or reward. Cats love rewards after something that's traumatizing like that. Same thing when you clean their ears. Pull them up in between your legs. Put the stuff in the ear. Squish it till you hear a little squishy sound. You do it like that. Thumb behind the ear, finger in the front, and you squish. And then wipe the excess out. The cat will shake the rest out. Happy cat. They hate it then. It's not hurting them. But my cats love it when it's all done. They perk right up. And it's like, oh, what a relief. So, wonderful thing to do for your cat periodically is keep their ears clean. You might want to do it once a month or twice a month because cats do develop earwax, and it will pile up in there and cause irritation too. So you want to do at least a once a month or twice a month ear wash, irregardless of ear mites. So keep that in mind in the beginning as a new cat owner. Cats are sensitive to smell. Oh my gosh. Cats have 200 million cells, smelling, sensing cells in their nose. 200 million. So they can smell something miles away. That's phenomenal. Again, that helps with their hunting instincts, what they're born to do. So keep that in mind when you're using air fresheners, smoking cigarettes, anything that has a high, intense smell to it for a human. Just think what that does to your cat's nose. Like I said, strong air fresheners in the air can irritate a cat's nose, and he will haul butt. You know it's bothering him. So be careful when you're using sprays in the air and air fresheners around your cat. They don't like it. Cats are finicky eaters. So if you get a kitten or a cat, at whatever stage, we usually get them at a kitten or as an adult. At either stage, you find something that your cat likes, stick to it. Because if you don't, you're going to spend a fortune on food and treats. Cats hate change, so why change something or undo something that already works? Save yourself some money and time and stick to that. I recommend special treats. Cats love special treats. Sometimes mine likes to make a meal out of their treats. Feeding times, the schedule, morning, night, stick to those times. Makes your life easier, makes their life easier. They know when to expect it and what time to expect it. When to expect the treat, they know when to expect the treat. Playtime, a lot of people misconceive that. I get a cat because they don't need a lot of attention. They take care of themselves. That's true. They're very independent animals. They're loners. That's what I love about them. They can take care of themselves. They're huge survivors. They can out-survive any animal out there. I think, well, not any, but most, when you compare it to other house pets. They know how to survive, and that's what I love about them. They're smart and they're survivors. So, what was I getting at? Yes, your cat does need attention. Yes, sweetheart. They get depressed. Yes, cats get depressed, and I'll go into that topic at another time. They also get Alzheimer's disease. Yes, cats get depressed. They do need some, right up here, baby, come here, come on. They do need interaction, but they don't need a lot of it. Dogs require much more. Cat, hey Petey, cats, they only want, 5, 10, 15 minutes playtime? They're done with you. You don't have to take them for a walk, pick up their poop, dig out the litter box. Yes, I want to go in on litter box here for a little bit too. They don't ask for much. They really don't. They're just highly, highly, highly misunderstood. And my purpose, again, is to make a difference, to educate, share the information. Hopefully you'll share the information with your friends and family, and the word will get out. We'll see less cats up for adoption on the streets and in shelters. So please share all this information if you can with all your friends. I'm not good at doing this. I might be putting you to sleep, but I hope that some of you are getting something out of this, and thank you for listening and putting up with me as well, because I am not very computer savvy. So yes, let's talk about cat litter real quick too. Scoop it every day. Don't be lazy. Cats are very prone to UTIs, urinary tract infection. Well, us women, females out there, we know what that's like, and it hurts. It's uncomfortable. So if your cat is licking her abdomen a lot, 9 times out of 10, she's got a UTI. It's hard to spot the blood in their urine to tell for sure if they have a UTI, but there is a chemical you can get from your vet in a pet store. You can put it in the litter box, and if it shows blood, that's another way of identifying it. I highly recommend that because it's really hard to tell. Cats lick themselves all the time, so you may have a belly licker and there's nothing wrong with her. But most of the way we can identify is there's blood in the urine as humans, and we have a lot of pain. Well, that pain is a lot worse for a cat, believe it or not. Please don't let your cat suffer. That's just cruel to let a cat suffer with a UTI. That is just a horrible pain as well. What causes it 9 times out of 10? Like I said, cats are like little kids. Everything gets on the hands. They go in, they use the litter box. After they're done, the cat grooms itself. What's the first thing they do? Lick the paws. Well, guess what they're licking? The bacteria out of the urine gets into their bloodstream and causes a UTI. So they're recycling that urine that they just put in the litter box. Can you imagine how bad that is? You wouldn't do that. So why let your cat do that? Keep the litter box clean, folks. It only requires 2 inches of litter. And what you do is you get a pan big enough for your cat. Don't get one too small. If your cat is scratching outside its litter pan, the pan is too small. Number 2, don't get a lid for your litter box. That is for us humans. We created that. Cats do not like to walk into a litter box with a cover on it and have a time bomb. It's like a bomb hitting them in the face of toxic fumes that we don't want to smell or look at. Imagine what it's like for your cat. So if your cat's not using a box and it's got a lid on it, that could be one of the reasons. Take the lid off. If your cat box doesn't have a lid on it, it's not using the litter box, it doesn't like the litter. Believe it or not, there are so many types of litters out there. Cats will not use the litter box if they do not like the litter. Why is this? They don't like the texture of it on their paws. Earlier I said cats have sensitive paws. If they don't like the way it feels on their paws, their feet, they're not going to use the litter. Another way to tell they don't like the litter is they shake the litter off their feet as they're walking out the box. Don't like it, experiment with the litter. Get a litter that your cat likes. Like I said, that can be expensive. Start off with a small box of litter if you're not sure, and experiment till you find the right one, and then buy it in the bulk. Get a pan that's big enough for your cat. Make sure the pan is clean well. This is starting fresh. Get the Arm & Hammer baking soda that they sell in the pet department or in the grocery department. Sprinkle that all on the bottom of the box. This does help with odors, but you have to do it just this way. Then you only fill it up with 2 inches of litter. A lot of people fill the whole box up with litter, and guess what happens? It's not the poop you got to worry about that really contaminates the litter box. It's the urine that is the biggest contaminant. The urine seeps through all that litter and goes to the very bottom. So when you're scooping your litter, you're only scooping the surface of it. But guess what's still left? All of that urine that trickled all the way down through that thickness of the litter to the very bottom of the box, and it's still there. So every time your cat uses the litter box, scratches, she's still getting urine on her paw. So fill it up with 2 inches of litter on top of the baking soda. Get you a big scooping spoon. Take the litter box every time you want to scoop it. Tilt it to the side and shake it like this until all the litter runs down to the edge. And what do you see on the bottom? There's all the urine right there, and it's a clump, and it will stick to the bottom of the pan. Scoop it that way. That way you know you got all the urine out of the litter box. Scoop it, put it in a disposable trash can that you can have right there by your box. Instead of bagging it, it's good just to have a trash can with the lid on it, put it in there, and then empty it all at one time for convenience. And then put the books. Shake the litter back in place. Less UTIs. And you're not using as much litter, so that saves on your budget of buying box after box after time. It only takes 2 inches of litter, folks. And rule of thumb, 2 litter boxes per 1 cat. 2 litter boxes per 1 cat. And make sure you put the litter boxes in an area where the cat knows where it's at all times. If you move the litter boxes around too much in the house, the cat's going to lose sight of the litter box and may have some accidents and start spraying the house, which is another problem. Why do cats spray? One, you need to fix your cat. Spay, neuter your cat. That will help with markings. Why do they spay? Well, one, it's territorial. This is my place. This is my spot. They also do it out of anxiety and fear. Okay, so cats take ownership of their territory. And the way they do it is the same way as all dogs and animals do. They mark their spot. I was here. This is mine. If you have any other behavioral problems with your cat and stuff, you can also message me at catloversnetwork.com. Leave me a message there, or you can go to Purrbies, Purrbies, Purrbies Feline Consultant and Behaviors.com. You can contact me there as well. Either way, join my group and we can take it from there. And that's Pet Lovers, Cat Lovers, CATLOVERS, catloversnetwork.com. You'll find me there. My profile picture is this gruesome, ugly, crazy looking little dog with her tongue hanging out with different colored eyeballs. Yes, I try to be a little comical at times. It gets me through life. So, folks, I don't know how this video is going to turn out. I don't know how the effect, but as you can see, as I'm getting in the end, I'm getting more comfortable with this. I don't like looking at myself on TV or a screen. It's kind of awkward. I'm not one of those kind of people, but I will get used to it just for the cat's sake. I covered quite a few topics here today. Be on the lookout for my next video. I promise you they'll get more funnier. They'll become more interesting, and hopefully you'll learn a lot, and it will help you to be a happy cat lover with less headaches. And until next time, hug your cat, tell her you love her, she loves you, and I'll see you then. Take care. Have a perfect day.